to Devoxx Belgium. I have a camera and a microphone. Let's have a talk with some of the speakers and the guests.
Hi, my name is Cassandra Chin, and I am giving a keynote.
Wow.
So, I think I'm the first keynote, and I'll be talking about raising young coders and how to inspire kids to want to do technology.
You wrote a book about this. Is this a book about coding? Is it a book about having fun with technology?
This is a book which is published by A Press, and the main purpose of the book is for parents to read, and it gives them like different ideas on how they can make technology more fun for their kids. And there's also a huge focus on getting like your girls involved in technology. It's a project-based book, so there's like different projects. There's like squishy circuits, which is a Play-Doh project with like LEDs and conductivity. And the hardest project is the Raspberry Pi.
Okay. I'm a big fan of Raspberry Pis and Java, so we have some touch point there. You're wearing a Java Champions jacket, so congratulations with that.
Yeah, thank you.
You've done this kind of Java promotion already for quite some time, and you're young. How did it start for you?
I think this really started when I first started teaching kids workshops. I was only like 12 years old when I taught my first workshop. But it was a Raspberry Pi workshop with a game run in Java. So I think at the time the game was zombie time. So you control a character which is a zombie, and your goal is to like zombify all the villagers.
I'm a bit surprised that you took Java then on the Raspberry Pi, because originally the Raspberry Pi was designed for Python. That was a bit the idea. So I'm very happy that you took Java. Why Java for you?
I think for me, Java has always been around my life. Like, we actually used to have these barbecue parties at my house tied to Java 1. So just with all these Java people around my life, it just became the first language for me.
Do you think it's the best starting point for kids?
Honestly, for kids, the starting point doesn't matter. At a really basic level, you're just learning like if loops, for loops, basic coding. So I think it's perfectly good to start with Java, but if they want to start with other languages, it's also fine.
I'm doing Coder Dojo clubs already for more than 10 years. There we use a lot of Scratch, so you have the block-based approach. Do you think that's a good foundation?
I definitely think Scratch is a good foundation. I mean, I wrote another book called Flippy's AI Friend, and that's a picture book designed for like getting kids involved in their first like workshop. So I do a Scratch-based workshop.
Yeah.
And with that workshop, I tie in some AI into the workshop and image training and recognition. So you can hold up images and you take pictures, and you're basically training your own AI model.
In Java 25, there were a lot of improvements to make it easier to get started with simpler methods and stuff like that. Do you think we really needed that?
It doesn't matter that much. I mean, it's just about, for someone starting, it's getting over the barrier of coding.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people think that coding is difficult and you have to be smart to do it. So I think part of what I do with kids' workshops is I introduce technology to kids in a very easy way. And it gives them this idea that actually they can do technology too.
By coincidence, this morning in the Belgian newspaper, they say that the amount of STEM students is at the lowest level ever, which is unfortunate for us because we are in this sector. Although we have Devoxx for Kids and Coder Dojo, it's still hard to inspire kids to step into this engineering and discovering things. Is there a role for the parents to push them or inspire them to do so?
This is why I wrote the Raising Young Coders book. It's to inspire kids to try coding. I mostly suggest introducing coding and like basically you're showing kids the end result first because coding can do a lot. Like one of the projects is the MBot, and you control this robot which can follow lines. So like by showing kids that you can make this robot move, like before you teach them coding syntax, I think that's a huge motivator for them to want to learn to code.
In my time, we had a Commodore 64. We could already program, but that was it. And now you have all these amazing Arduinos and Raspberry Pis and robots and MBOTs. And isn't it an amazing time to be alive now?
Personally, I'm fortunate because in my house we had like 3D printers, Raspberry Pis, and just a lot of them, and also computers. But like not everyone has access to these.
That's a problem.
So
yeah.
like, it's a good time because they exist, but we have to actually raise awareness. Like take Raspberry Pis for an example. They're only like maybe $35. So they're within the affordability range that everyone can have one, but not everyone knows about it.
Yeah, or
So I
has them
think
or- yeah.
part of what I want to do is introduce these more affordable technologies to more people and kids.
Yeah, I watched the book. I went through it. It's really inspiring. It's some very fun experiments. Is that also a way of showing the fun of engineering?
Yeah, first you show kids the fun, and maybe when they go into high school, there's a computer science class, or maybe when it's time to decide a major for college, like kids don't actually know what they want to do when they are forced to pick a major to go into college. But I think just by influencing their opinion a little bit, showing them what's fun, it's a higher chance they'll choose a technology major.
Yeah. Okay. So tomorrow you have the keynotes. What is the one thing that we should remember from the keynotes?
Basically just getting kids involved in technology in a fun way. Make it fun.
My name is Daniel De Luca. So what brings me to Devoxx? The community, all the news, all the new updates on the software frameworks, AI, and all the things that everybody's looking at these days, and for which I'm also looking for my own company I'm working for. But I'm so here to propagate the news about Devoxx for Kids. Where basically we initiated that children version of Devoxx basically in 2012 with Stefan, obviously. And then we continue to move on with this, so basically showing in different workshops where how children can, with children, how they can basically program software, develop applications, making games, develop play with robots and programming them and interacting with them in a very fun way and very interactive way. So just trying to show them that they can be producer instead of consumer of technology, like they do today. At Devoxx for Kids, we have three pillars, initial pillars, which is showing children that technology is affordable and they can be also there, start being educated on that and showing them that it's fun and easy to do. Second pillar is to show that boys and girls are all the same and they can also, specifically girls now, continue on having a path in IT, which is important for diversity. And also the third one was really to prove and show to underprivileged children that also on their side they have the opportunity to go to the IT sector basically, and we try to help them and to support them to bring them to those workshops for free, and then to make sure that they also enjoy the day. So the fourth pillar is completely new, and that's something that we wanted to do since the beginning nearly, is to see basically how we can help students to continue to pursue IT educations high level, so high school, universities, primarily in Europe, in Belgium, but also in Europe. So we didn't have that opportunity yet due to financial constraint ourselves, but all of a sudden, basically, we had the opportunity with ING Bank to, which is Belgium, ING Belgium, which is a very early adopters of that concept of Devoxx for Kids. We were working with them since for 10 years already, making workshops with them at ING Bank's IT department there. And they show us very enthusiasm, and specifically their team, also the IT department, very are very enthusiastic about Devoxx for Kids, and they are really continuing doing an amazing job. And ING provided some big amount of funds basically, and where basically say that's the time to start the fourth pillar.
Yeah.
So this year we created officially the Devoxx for Kids Foundations, Belgium but also European one with of public utility. So basically this has been approved by the King of Belgium, and the goal is really to participate and to cooperate with academic institutions for them to help us to find really students with a real potential in IT, but that are struggling with financial conditions. So basically to help them.
Yeah.
So we are there to not only to pay a check, to write a check for them, but really to step by step help them in continuing their semesters and their educations, help them with local and specific dedicated process to help them with mentors and with devices also, because if you want to code, you need to have good materials to make sure that they succeed in their educations. This in partnership with companies for which they provide sponsors and sponsorship to the foundations, and for which we make relationship with the students. So they know that the companies know where the money goes to, who they support. On the academic world basically, and basically create already at that moment a strong relationship between the company and the student. So basically when the student finish his studies, basically graduate, basically they know basically where they can go to, because they know the company, they know even the employee, because employee also are in strong relationship with the students to mentor them. And basically they know directly where they have to go to work. And this is very interesting for the companies, because they know that they can invest in people, making sure that they graduate, they have good knowledge, so they can use them for their own business, basically.
The whole goal of Devoxx for Kids, I really like it, because I've done the same with Coder Dojo over 10 years ago, started the Coder Dojo clubs. The same goal at that time. There were not a lot of students in STEM schools. Now it's a bit frustrating to see in the newspaper exactly this week that the number of STEM students is at the lowest level. Are we doing something wrong? Tech is so fascinating.
Indeed, and if you look at the statistics, because I had a look at the Eurostat institutions' statistics about IT and employment, that companies are struggling to find people, and not because they are there, but the market is small, but because basically, for example, 40% of all those companies, they are seeing that they don't receive application for their job publications, basically. So this is weird, and you see also that all the students that are graduated goes to the IT sector, purely IT sector, or the telco sectors. So for 70% of them, instead of you have different, much more sectors that are starving for ICT peoples, and that's why we also want to make sure that we can increase that graduation, those graduated students' numbers basically over the years, to make sure that we can try to fulfill as best as we can, obviously, those numbers, to increase those numbers of students that are graduated, and to make sure that the relationship is there between companies and students, basically.
And let's be honest, there are amazing small companies who build very complicated, fascinating products and are looking for engineers.
That's why we'll try to be the bridge between that, between companies like small ones that have very good potential or very interesting in terms of working and engagement from the people and the students, basically, because also there it's not a question of hiring new people also, but it's also a question of retaining also existing employees potential, because more and more people are looking for companies, want to work for companies that have a really social meaning, and having those employees seeing that their own companies is doing something for the ICT academic world, basically helping students to graduate and having them working with them, it's something that is really honorific for the company, for the employees. Are proud of working for such a companies, basically.
If a company wants to do something with the kids of their employees with Devoxx for Kids, how does this work? Do they come to you to organize an event?
They can come to me, or basically our workshops are on GitHub. It's open source since the beginning, and they can find all the workshops that they want to play with and to do. It's very easy to do the setup. If they want to have some advices or they're afraid of how to do exactly from a practical standpoint, they can always reach us. We'll be more than happy to help them. And the goal is also nowadays to have really, let's say, independent groups or companies or group of people that are doing those events whenever they have time. And something that we see also frequently is specifically in Belgium is that, for example, the ING guys, they do workshop on their own. They don't nearly need me or need Devoxx for Kids anymore. There was a need at the beginning, but now they have all the materials. They have a core team for doing those type of things. And we have the same in academic. In a high school in Liège, for example, they are asking their own student to organize a Devoxx for Kids event during the open doors of the school. So at the same time, it's basically you have new students coming in to register to be new students at the school, and you have students that are at the same time in the same day having fun with kids in order to show them that technology is fun. And actually those students, it's part of their curriculum, and they are quoted that they receive a notation based on their work of this Devoxx for Kids. I thought this completely amazing, and this is really what we are, and when we see those type of actions and evolutions, yes, this is it. That's what we wanted to do basically since the beginning, and it works basically.
We are at the Java conference. How do you look at Java for children and as a first programming language?
We can do that. We did that, and we have several workshops based on Java. So, for example, we have a workshop where they can hack Minecraft. So they can start a server in Java-based, and they can hack the servers to, let's say, to have a dynamite to explode like an atomic bomb instead of just a few those kind of things, which sometimes hangs completely the computer, which is fun. But that's the game, and that's the fun part of it. So, but you need to basically really tailor the right workshop for the right children's age in terms of age. So you cannot start using Java with very young boys and girls. Basically, you really have to select the right, and that's what also we have the right workshop for the right ages. But yes, Java is completely doable, and you even have some workshop that have a GUI that lets you to develop something, and behind the scene they can have a look at the Java code automatically also. So it's a small introduction to Java, like we do also with electronics and all the things in a very fun way to show basically electricity, conduction of electricity with bodies and etc. in a safe way, obviously.
The fun projects are most of the times the ones they learn the most. Like in my Code Dojo Club, we have a girl, and every month she makes a new robot with Lego. Each time it doesn't work, but that doesn't matter. It does something. And that's a bit the goal. Experiment.
It's really to show them that first, it's not as simple as they thought, because it doesn't work. Yes, that's normal. It's your first time. It's the first try of the running the software, and then it might. So most of the time it doesn't work. So you need to think about all those things. So showing them that it's really hard sometimes to debug things, and you see clearly differences between boys and girls. Some boys sometimes are a little bit it doesn't work. So while the girls it doesn't work, but let's do it. Let's try to fix it out. And that's why we want to also to bring in the in terms of diversity to make sure that also to reassure girls that yes, IT, software engineering is also good for you. And you see nowadays more and more speakers, females and all things, which is great. And you see the differences, and so in combination, and also underprivileged people, boys and students and girls. Everybody, we don't have to stop to the financial, to the wealth aspect of the parents. We are there. We need to break that barriers and make sure that all of them can reach their dream, basically, because you have a lot of potentials in those underprivileged communities, and that's why also, for example, the Devoxx for Kids Morocco, Devoxx for Kids Netherlands, they go with the materials to the local communities with their own hardwares because they don't have hardware over there, and then to start building a workshop and to do those workshops over there to help to show everybody that it's doable and it's possible and there is opportunities over there.